The Lisbon Treaty. In 2 years from now, this drunk man will become president of 28 nations, but no one has ever voted him. Well, you really made a mess of it all. Shall I get Philip to drive you home? Now, this is an ingredient in chemotherapy, and if you read the label, as you can see, known to be a human carcinogen. Chemotherapy. What do major copyright changes mean for internet freedom? We will still be able to upload online content and news, and what about memes? The European dictatorship approved the largest and most contentious overhaul of copyright legislation in 2 decades on Monday. When the directive comes into effect, it will be the biggest change to internet regulation since general data protection regulations, which was another EU piece of shit. The copyright changes are best known because of their 2 most controversial clauses, Article 11 and 13, which have been the nexus of a ferocious battle between corporate lobbyists, online activists and freedom of expression groups. What do the changes mean for the internet? Well, it's a further clamp down on you being able to post anything, and it won't be long before any stuff that I post won't be allowed out anywhere. CPS under fire for delay in charging man accused of raping boy 12. So the Crown Paedophile Services are protecting someone again by the looks of it. Man admitted to crime, but CPS took a year and a half to sift through victims' data. Basically, 12-year-old boy, despite the guy admitting the crime, and they've just done nothing for 2 years. The child and his family were devastated by the lengthy delays as the CPS insisted on trawling through 40,000 files of the victim's personal data. The lawyers representing the boy have lodged a complaint seen by The Guardian to the Information Commissioner's Office as part of the watchdog's ongoing inquiry into the collection, analysis and disclosure of complaints of sexual offence, personal information and digital data. This is just a CPS doing what they're put there for. Protect paedophiles. The pesticide Thiacloprid is toxic to bees and humans. Ban it now. So basically it's another poison that this depopulation, as soon as you get, and who's behind it? Of course it's Bayer Monsanto. Links as usual in description. Former Hillary associate claims to have been her personal hitman, admits to killing for money. Like many Americans, I have been glued to the Pete Santilli show today in an attempt to keep up to date with any updates on the truckers. That show is streaming live as I write this. There are bombshells being dropped on the show that go far beyond a trucker strike. The story of the listeners are getting in is that Larry Clayman was prepared to go on Neil Curvato's show tonight and show pictures of National Guard troops that have been assembled to squash the uprising should it get out of hand, but it is also being reported that Fox News pulled the interview because they're owned, bought and paid for and protect the elite, or the parasites as they should really be called. Jailed paedophile barrister removed from profession. So in other words, it covers every profession, and I'm surprised he's been removed from the barristers list, because a lot of them are. A lot of the top judges are. A lot of the barristers are. Links in description. Believe me, the civil service is trying to sink Brexit. I have seen it from the inside. Should MPs vote again on Theresa May's Brexit deal, it would be anything but delivering on the Brexit vote from 2 years ago. How would I know? Because I work within the heart of government. As a civil servant, I can tell you that large parts of the Whitehall machine are systematically working against leaving the EU. More treason, but you know, What are you going to do? Justice is impossible if we cannot trust police forces to tell the truth. From the information I had, that is what I believe happened to me. So Simon Harwood, the police officer who pushed Ian Tomlinson to the ground at the G20 protest 2 years ago, told the inquest into his death. The information Harwood had led him to believe 2 weeks after the event that he fell to the ground, the floor, lost his baton, received a blow to the head and was involved in violent and dangerous confrontations. Last week he admitted that though he had made these claims in a signed statement, in other words perjury, none of it happened. So what was the information? Who gave it to him? Had he been brainwashed? Well, yeah, all the cops are brainwashed, but they go for particular ones that are he's susceptible to that sort of stuff. Sprint removing cell tower after several cases cancer causes at elementary school. What more evidence do you need? These cell towers are there to kill us, and the 5G will do that in a very, very much shorter time. Bullshit propaganda. Mass mumps outbreaks hits Nottingham as hundreds fall ill. Public health warning. This is to go and get your measles, mumps and rubella, the MMR, which is one of the biggest killers. Hundreds of university students have fallen ill after a mumps outbreak. Bullshit. Public Health England has confirmed 40 cases. Oh no! A whole 40 cases? What will happen to Nottingham? It will never survive. 40 people with mumps. I had mumps when I was a kid. I'm still okay. And 220 suspected cases across Nottingham Trent University and University of Nottingham. In other words, suspected, which means they haven't got a clue, so they're just going to say, oh, you've got a cold, you've got mumps. There have been a number of outbreaks at the two sites. Nottinghamshire Live reports. Chloe Glazard, 20, a student at Nottingham Trent University, said, I got it all about 2 weeks ago and it lasted around 2 weeks, so I had to miss some of the uni. So let's just go over that. So she got the mumps about 2 weeks ago and she had to miss 2 weeks of uni. Or, on the other hand, she could get the MMR and die. Which would you go for? When I first noticed it, I felt like I had been punched in my jaw and my jaw was really sore. So, you're going to have to put up with a sore jaw or death. I know what I'd do. Israel's nuclear arsenal and weapons of mass destruction, a threat to world peace. This carefully researched article by John Steinbach on Israel's nuclear arsenal was first published by Global Research in March 2002. Should war break out in the Middle East again, or should any Arab nation fire missiles against Israel, as the Iraqis did, a nuclear escalation, once unthinkable except as a last resort, would now be a strong possibility. Because Israel is the terrorist state. The terrorist state. Run by the Zionists, of course. The £12 million Manhattan penthouse, funded by the British taxpayers, UK government buys luxury 7-bed apartment in New York to house civil servant tasked with seeking post-Brexit trade deals. Government, what's wrong with just sticking them up in a B&B? Because they've got endless amounts of money, so why not spend it on anything they can? Government purchased 5,893 square feet flat for Anthony Phillipson, UK's Trade Commissioner for North America. Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt organised sale on March 15th and is currently selling Phillipson's former home. We've secured best deal and value for money to promote UK and commercial capital, Foreign Office said. It added that penthouse, which comes with its own library, will also be used to support his work to help British business as Her Majesty's Trade Commission for North America. What a crock of bollocks. With its glorious Manhattan view and a 12 million price tag, you might expect this lavish apartment to belong to a Hollywood A-lister. In fact, the 7-bedroom penthouse will be home to civil servant set to negotiate our trade deal with the US after Brexit. The government has bought the apartment for Anthony Phillipson, the Trade Commissioner for North America and Consul General, to be used when Britain leaves the EU. So, a house fit for a mega millionaire, and the government buy it for one of theirs. The corruption is just ridiculous. The tide is turning. Big Pharma billionaire arrested, charged with conspiracy and bribery of doctors. I almost never thought I'd see the day when a Big Pharma and owner was finally arrested for running a criminal drug cartel, but that day has arrived. Federal authorities arrested the billionaire founder and owner of Insys Therapeutical Thursday on charges of bribing doctors and pain clinics into prescribing the company's fentanyl product to their patients, reports the Daily Caller News Foundation, one of the best sources for real journalism in America today. Active drugs that include opioids, we now know, are claiming over 64,000 lives a year in the United States alone. Everything is corrupt. If you're in a position of high wages or any type of perceived power, they'll have something on you and you'll be a corrupt little git. Anti-Israel slogan stamped on £5 notes. Bank of England warns campaigners could be prosecuted for defacing currency. British £5 notes marked with messages Free Palestine, Boycott Israel. Political slogan has angered locals who claim it's inappropriate. No, they didn't claim any of that. You're saying that. Bank of England warns defacing currency is illegal and risks prosecution. Oh, piss off. Yeah, prove it was me. Campaigners stamping anti-Israel, pro-Palestine messages on banknotes could be prosecuted for defacing currency, the Bank of England has warned. Banknotes bearing a Free Palestine, Boycott Israel stamp have surfaced in Bolton, Greater Manchester, sparking anger among locals. No, it hasn't sparked anger among locals at all. Most of them don't even see it. They just make shit up, these papers. The Bank of England says it's illegal to deface currency, but the notes remain legal tender. But one grandfather who has been given one of the notes from a shop in Dube Hill was not happy to be handed the defaced £5 note. The 67-year-old who would only identify himself as Bill said he received the note on Sunday, August 17th after he picked up his paper. Daily Fail. Will her sacrifice be in vain? May sensationally agrees to quit in bid to deliver Brexit betrayal. Farcically, MPs failed to agree on any other option. Boris backs her, but as DUP say, they still won't budge. More smoke and mirrors. This bullshit, we know it's bullshit. It's just distracting us from what they're really doing on, which is integrating us further into the EU. Express. Last night, Theresa May offered to sacrifice her premiership in a valiant attempt to break the Brexit deadlock. No, she didn't. She did it in an attempt to tie us in to a deal that we don't want and actually is shit. But her selfless gesture, she would never been selfless in her life, was met by a shambolic series of votes as May MPs failed to agree on any alternative plan. What more does she have to do? Quit and piss off. Repeal the 72 Act, repeal the Lisbon Treaty, repeal anything, any bullshit treaty that was signed by traitors. Not that we need to anyway, because it was signed by traitors, so it's invalid anyway. Aye. Line of Duty, the cast and writer behind the scenes of the hit show. I don't know what that is. Bottle of wine a week poses same cancer risk as smoking 10 cigarettes. Piss off. The woman who feels no pain. It's called Theresa May. Back me and sack me, so she must be an animal then, because animals don't feel pain. Back me and sack me? Yeah, well, we're not backing you, but you can still go. Tory leadership contest ignites as Prime Minister tells her MPs, support my deal and I'll go. No, 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 no. Brexit deadlock deepens after House of Commons has its say and votes against all 8 alternative plans because of the same shit. Snap election on long delay more likely as MP support for second referendum grows. Well, don't give a shit what the MPs think. The public have voted leave. Boris Johnson will now back deal before attempt to replace May in number 10. DUP refusing to compromise on backstop and Bercow may block new vote. Tories face cash crunch as party donors starve at PM of funds. Unlevel playing field, rewinding a century of social progress. May, the Times, May vows to resign and go straight to prison for her treason, is what it should say. PM will quit if her deal is passed. Vote could be tomorrow. Long leadership final fight possible. In other words, back me and I'll go, because then you'll be so tied in. We'll still be part of the EU, but we'll have a piece of paper that says we've left, but we'll still be under their regulations, their financial system. They'll still have access to our waters. The borders will still be open, and we'll still be importing more immigrants. Breathless inquirers, but the wind had gone from his waxen leader. Mirror. My farewell to the Durrells. The end of May 22nd. PM to quit once she has delivered her Brexit betrayal. Commons is in chaos as MPs reject all other options because it's the same shit, just worded differently. Brexit crisis, downfall of the Prime Monster. The Daily Telegraph. May falls on her sword. Prime Minister promises to Tory MPs she will quit in final effort to save her betrayal. Leading Brexiteers back withdrawal agreement, but DUP refused to bow. Bow. Commons rejects all 8 alternative Brexit options during indicative votes, as there is no change between what the first lot was said. Woman who has no pain is scientific marvel. Trump tells Russia to get out of Venezuela. Well, Trump should get out of Venezuela. Debenham snubs Ashley takeover bid. Taylor to end reign of PFA after 38 years. The scum. Finally, it's Threxit. PM vows to go in last Brexit bid, but DUP still refuse to budge. I'm off. Now back my deal. No. We don't want a deal. Waste of paper star. Sex curves hay fever. Top tips on how to get hay fever. Industry as like they owners. Well, you are a slave, so what do you expect? The Guardian. Jackfruit, the new star of vegan cuisine. How to stop machines outsmarting humanity. Parliament finally says it's say. No. May tells Tory MP she will quit if they back her Brexit deal. So that's bribery and corruption. I'll quit if you back my betrayal. And if you don't, I won't. So that's bribery. Commons rejects all 8 alternative in indicative votes as they're all the same. DUP signals it will still not back the MP's withdrawal agreement. I am prepared to leave this job earlier than I intended in order to do what is right for our country and stab them in the back, sell them to Brexit and bring in a dictatorship, the new world order, because I'm part of it, she said. Metro. Vote Brexit and I'll exit. No. Exit. Straight to jail. PM plans final card saying she'll quit if deal is backed. Boris Johnson immediately says he'll support May's plan. Blow for number 10 as DUP still won't budge over backstop. It's statement as MPs. It's stalemate as MPs reject all 8 alternative options as it's the same shit, just reworded 8 different ways. FT. May offers to resign in final plea for rebels backing on Brexit betrayal. Pledge to backbench MPs. Hardliners stick to their guns, push for third vote this week. Barclays outs investment unit chief as Daily braces bank for Branson assault.